Welcome back to the most intense matchup of the day. Once again with me, Faraz, Danali, and Pinda. Guys, it's going to be Faceless going against TNC. Danny, I'm sorry, Pinda, I can't give this to you. She's been hyping this up the entire day. Danny,
I can't.
You have the floor.
So
Go.
I'm so excited. No, seriously, this is going to be so exciting. Pinda doesn't understand because she's a Fnatic fan.
Okay, so tell me more. What do you expect to see in this match? Do you think we'll see something just like the previous match, Fnatic and Benesi? That was not beautiful, but it was. It was a match. It was a good match. So
that was a better word.
Yeah.
Continue.
What do you think is going to happen this time around?
This is, in my opinion, the match of the day because it determines who is technically the alpha team of all of SEA today.
In Southeast Asia.
Now, I don't include tomorrow because for some reason, some teams will sort of have this symptom where they'll play the first day not at 100%, and then for some reason, the next day they played 150%.
Right.
So we could be seeing surprises tomorrow, but for today, Faceless and TNC, they're definitely considered the top dogs of the region. So we're going to find out who is going to be able to take out who in a best of one.
Actually, Fnatic was with them alongside as well until the last match happened, and that was pretty sad. But what about you, Pinda? What do you think is going to happen here? TNC, Faceless.
I can't tell. Like this one, I'm like 50-50.
Okay.
Both teams are very experienced, old players. They've been to great tournaments, very big tournaments, and it's like they're side by side. They're equally strong, and you can never tell who's gonna win who. But Faceless has, in the past qualifiers, Faceless have always been like a step forward of them. But now it's like I really can't decide. Like I don't know who you're cheering for, like TNC or Faceless. It's really hard.
The thing is, I can't cheer for anyone in this best of one.
It's like they're the face of C for now. They're the faces of C for now. So.
And I think it's also worth mentioning that the first team today will be getting a promised position in Seattle. Yeah, the first team.
Not today,
no,
tomorrow.
Not today, tomorrow.
First team.
Tomorrow.
Okay, at the end of the round robin, the first team will get qualified to go to Seattle for TI7. This is going to be intense, guys. I think that Godot and also Hades are waiting for us. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about drafting.
Beautiful.
Guys.
Yeah, that was
I
beautiful.
forgot about drafting. I don't know why. It's been a long day. I forgot about drafting. So we have drafting ready. So let's see the picks and bans.
All right. So we have a draft.
King.
Now, we haven't seen a Barra. Excuse me, a Spirit Breaker, but I do love to call him Baratham. He's actually the first we've seen today. And you can already tell this global presence from Faceless. You've got Relocate, and now you've got Charge to help set them up.
They're pulling the same strat as, I think, you have Major. They played the same strat with Bara and Ayu, I think. They played, it was very mobile, like, throughout the map. So I think they're going for that strat.
We've seen Batrider and Sand King today. Do you think they're going to be going for a similar strategy as they have earlier, TNC?
I don't see why not. If it's the most comfortable way for them to play Dota, why not?
But I mean, going up against a team like Faceless.
This is what I think. Yeah, sorry.
Going up against a team like Faceless, wouldn't they be able to draft something out which is able to counter their playstyle?
Okay, I don't know about you, Pinda, but in the world of Dota, it's not only about countering, it's whether or not you are in a comfortable position to play the said heroes. So you can draft the counter. If you have no one to play the hero at the top level of Dota, there's no point.
Right.
Now, obviously, there's the argument that these players should be good enough to play these heroes at a competitive level, but with a tournament this big, I don't think you want to put that risk on the line unless you're that confident in that strat.
All right, Pinda, I'm sorry, you wanted to mention something.
I have a feeling that Faceless is gonna go all like tank heroes. Like they haven't banned Timbersaw.
Why would you say that?
Because Ice is like renowned for playing Timbersaw. He has his Timbersaw plays are one of the best in the world, and this strat, this is what I'm talking about. I've seen Faceless play this like a couple of times. They pick Ayo, they pick Bara, they pick Timber, and there's two more tanky heroes. They go like straight tank, all tank, and they actually win it. I think it was during, I don't remember, but it was during one of the recent tournaments, I think. Not in the but it was like all tanky heroes, and it was actually really good. Like they went all tank. It was like so much strength, so much health, and so much like even if the enemy team they had damage, right? They couldn't do anything about it because they had so much health and like you said.
They're so
Too
tanky.
tanky,
They're
yeah,
so
they
tanky.
were really tanky to tackle with.
Okay, so
Okay, maybe not.
So all of that, Pinda, all of that gone.
it's
We're
not
seeing
to,
Guap
It's still,
again.
it's still possible.
it's not to say that they won't do it, but this Weaver pickup, I don't mind it, but you've given away a Rubik.
Yeah,
Good old
exactly.
Rubik.
It's like every time there's a Weaver, if Rubik is not banned, they would pick it up. Like it's a perfect counter for Weaver. You just.
But I
Yeah.
don't actually mind TNC's lineup at the moment. They've got Sand King and Bat Rider, two great initiators. You've got Rubik that can now be an initiator with the Sakuchi steals. Then now you also have a Queen of Pain that will help bring that tempo control during the mid-game transition and into late game. If he's Mushi level, then we're going to be in for some really interesting Dota.
I think we might see the Orchid on the Weaver.
The
Are we
thing-
gonna see any Ice Invoker?
Invoker?
Yeah. Why not?
I don't mind it. It's just I'm looking at Faceless's draft. They are really lacking disables, and you need disable for Queen of Pain. You need disable for Bat Rider. You need some sort of
that's why
cancel for the
I
Sand
think-
King.
Yeah,
And technically now you also need to disable for the Rubik because he'll have Sakuchi.
yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. Good, yeah,
Tiny
yeah.
Wisp. Okay, so Tiny Wisp plus
Bara.
Bara plus
Great
plus,
mobility. Yeah.
plus Weaver.
Weaver can push. I mean, I think. Do you see a Bloodthorn on Weaver for Quap?
Oh, you mean Quap picking up the Bloodthorn?
No.
Or the Weaver picking
Weaver,
up
yeah.
Bloodthorn?
10 seconds.
It is an option, but it depends if TNC can spot this out because we've seen a lot of teams today pick up Yule's Scepter. And Queen of Pains have been prioritizing Yule's. So even though you get a
Reserve
Bloodthorn,
time.
it just gets Yule's off.
Yeah, it's just.
So it renders the item useless.
So they're picking out the last heroes. Based on the ones that they picked out so far, is there any predictions that you can have? Or something that you think is suitable?
At the moment, no.
Has Tiny been played today?
No. This is the first time Tiny will be played today. This is also the first time Weaver
Weaver,
Yes.
has made an
that's-
Bara
appearance.
too,
And
right?
Bara.
So it's like 3 heroes. Yeah.
TNC, they've drafted heroes that we've seen today. This is I think the second Rubik game of the day.
Bad Riders.
Actually, I
asking
think
it?
not more than 2.
Are you sure it's more than? I
I
don't
think
remember.
so. I saw that face quite a lot today. I don't know. Weird face.
Unless you're looking
Beautiful, right?
Unless you're looking at the highlights. It's hard to say. I'm just gonna leave it to the pros.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to TNC and Faceless, there's not much
But-
we can say.
I will definitely say maybe another hero with added disable to finalize this draft.
Are you talking about TNC or Faceless?
Faceless need lockdown. TNC, they need a carry that's possibly going to compete with Tiny Wisp. And if not compete with them, then at least contribute enough so that they can maybe either stall the game
Sven?
out or they can. I
What is
don't. Sven against Tiny?
Linda? Brain fart?
Yeah,
Are you okay?
lagging a bit.
Do you agree with what Daniel said though? The kind of heroes they need.
Yeah, they do need the damage side. Like on the TNC Pro side, like Quap, he's obviously going to be the annoying hero. You know, that's going to be painful in gang fights.
I'd say burst for TNC. They need more
Yeah,
than
they
Quap.
need worst. Yeah, that
But they also
definitely.
need a carry. Nature's Prophet. Okay, this is going to further.
So they're going for push strat.
Is this position 3 Nature's Prophet then? Oh yeah, there has to be position 4 Barra. Has to be 4 Barra.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4 Barra.
because we're going to see a lot of earn.
No, it'll be 5.
And then-
Is it 5 Barra or 5 Wisp?
10 seconds.
5
years.
Barra.
No,
No?
4 Barra. Yeah, 4 Barra.
4 Barra,
Yeah.
5 Wisp.
5
Okay,
seconds.
so we're down to our
So,
last
yeah,
pick on
we
TNC side.
Like what Daniel said, TNC definitely needs the burst damage,
Reserve time.
carry as well, a pusher, a hitter.
Do they play it safe and go for Jug? He's hard to gank. He'll be able to spin TP because there's going to be a lot of charging, a lot of tiny
Jug's been banned.
avalanches.
Jug's been banned.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Come on, Danny. Come on.
Why
What
are
is
you
it gonna
looking
be?
at me?
What is it gonna be?
Whatever TNC pick.
Well, that's true. I'll go with that as well.
Okay, what do they go for though?
I mean, when it comes to TNC, whatever they pick, I think they still can execute it.
Yeah, they're a fully capable team. any ideas we throw at them.
Ooh!
I don't know if I agree with this. Luna is so vulnerable to relocates and charges.
Is that gonna make you go on Faceless side?
And even Weaver.
Okay, guys, the picks have been done. Pinda, Danny, I want your votes. What is it
Okay.
gonna be?
That Luna pick has just been like a complete switch off.
So you're gonna be
For
Faceless?
TNC. I think it has to be Faceless.
Faceless for you?
There's so many bad things in this game for Luna. Treants can soak Lucent beams if she goes
It's
for
like
ults.
Faceless has they have a lot of disablers and they're very mobile throughout the map. They have like control of the map. They have Nature's Prophet. They have Wisp. They have Bara, and now Weaver. I'm pretty sure Weaver's gonna go for BOT and then later on just push, split push and. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Faceless.
Faceless?
I actually want to hear Godot's opinion on this Luna.
All right,
Like
well,
why this Luna was
We'll
last
ask him.
picked.
We'll ask him. So Faceless.
Faceless.
TNC, gonna be unique.
Oh my god.
Guys, I think Godot and Hades are ready. And please, guys, answer Danley's question. She's waiting for you.
Well, here we are. Thank you, Faraz. We're back here, of course, at the casting table for our final game of day 1 of the qualifiers for TI7 of the
The best
C
game as
region.
well.
This is the most hype.
That's it.
I mean, I've pretty much lived the whole day for this very moment. And of course,
Whoa.
yep,
Not that far, come on.
I have to exaggerate. It's what I do. But all right, so Danny had a question for you. What do you think?
Well, I understand that maybe it's not ideal pick against certain heroes. Like she's very vulnerable against a lot of these heroes, and that's true. But at the same time, Luna's a hero that you want to group up a lot. You want to take objectives, and that negates global effects. You can't just relocate into a Luna because you have AoE, Eclipse, and your team should be grouping up to pushing towers. That means it will also negate the charge relocates. So 2 heroes that Faceless picks will be negated. The one problem I have here is the Furin pickup. The Furin pickup is very good against Luna, especially in the laning phase. He can leech a lot of XP without getting caught and deny a lot of XP from the supports in the lane itself by blocking camps or itself dragging the creeps to his lane from the backside of the river.
I had some doubts. Like that's what I thought as well. When you saw the IO pick, you think Luna like going into the Eclipse. That's not good to play into. But then again, I thought if the Nature's Prophet TPs in as well, he puts the Treants out. What are the odds? The Eclipse is not. There's no way that all those Lucent beams land onto one target. It doesn't work like that. So
but the main perspective is that you want to group up, right? You play Luna, you want to group up, utilize the aura early game and take some towers, and it negates the ability of getting picked off by the SB, the Furon, and the relocate. So it makes sense. It's a little weird to see it after all these heroes are being picked, but here we go. Wisp just tethers away, but Jabs, did he actually see anyone there when he tethered away?
I'm not sure, but it looks like he's dodging that area because they have a ward near the bounty rune and they know that no one's there, so this should have been enough info for them to pretty much guess that, okay, TNC are pretty near our bounty rune, let's just get out. But in this case, he senses the danger, dodges it accordingly, and this will be very, very nicely done.
So yeah, Faceless, we didn't really talk too much about their draft, but they've been picking pretty standard throughout the whole tournament. Now, the very final game against the best team with the best stat record right now, TNC, they pull out the Faceless Wisp, which is generally not utilized, but since Jabs is now playing the support role, he can now utilize some Wisp into their strategic drafts.
And don't forget as well, whoever wins this game will go to the top of the group standings for today.
That's right. This is the winner goes straight to the main event. That's right.
Not exactly the main event since it's only day 1, but
true that.
close enough. But still, this having that undefeated streak on day 1, that's got to be a huge confidence boost for either of these teams.
I believe as well that the teams that they will be versing tomorrow might be easier as well. They will be versing, I believe, one of the open qualifier teams, so it will be a little easier run than today. But again, as you said, they would have a great morale going into the second day.
Indeed, and of course Kips should be working extra hard for this one, making sure that her team gets the edge on Faceless. Even ever since Fnatic, she's never been a fan of, the Faceless hype train. But still, Raven running this aggro lane, I like this a lot. So they switch the lanes accordingly. Ice is going back to the bottom as the Weaver goes top. So, Sam H getting charged already.
Luna will have a relatively easy time this game.
He has to know, right? Under the tower maybe, up into the swarm. Can he get the damage off here? Do they have enough? Ooh, he's actually really low, but they don't want to die for that no matter how low that is. 1437 getting the nice lift back, but XY with the Shikuchi away. And back to this middle lane. How does Cuckoo fare here against this Ayo Tiny combo?
I mean, generally Quap is not so bad. He does have an escape mechanism and he does have laning presence against a Wisp Tiny, but it's not going to be easy. Not only because it's a 2-on-1, but they can just, at one point, once they get the bottle, they can just start spamming toss. And they will just keep draining Cuckoo's HP down. And here we go. They're going in. Gets a stun. They do have a toss. They know Blink is down. A charge comes off, but I don't believe he will chase. Yeah.
Oh, the taunt from Nuts is like, come at me, right under in between the enemy tier 1s and 2. But I think one of the negative sides here right now for Cuckoo to solo this lane is because he doesn't have anyone mid to help him out. You don't have a Night Stalker this game, you don't have like a Bane.
And again,
they go one more time for Cuckoo. The TPO coming from the Sand King and they need to back him up. Tims needs to make something happen here to help out Cuckoo.
XY is now left alone at the top lane. Luna does TP towards the top lane after spotting out the lanes. Ice will be covering the bot lane alone. He'll be free farming, but it looks like pretty static right now. They are just playing for the farm. The middle lane will be the most action-paced lane here, but Jabs does have a regen rune, so that's going to be a big nuisance towards the Quap.
Yep. I mean, the first rune of the game, and you get a regen rune. This is like Christmas for Black. He can go as aggressive as he wants on Cuckoo. And if all the spirits connected as well once he's level 3, that actually might be a kill to Cuckoo, because right now he cannot farm. He's actually going back into his second null, so not the bottle just yet. Suffering very hard. 17-5 on Tiny and 9-4 on Cuckoo. Not a good game. Also, I mean, we haven't really mentioned, like, we're talking about the history between both these two teams. They've had a lot of history, like, over even since, like, the past 2 majors, right?
Middle lane, though.
Oh, hold on. Cuckoo's very low.
Caught, but managed to get out. But yeah, you're right. So we got, let's say, Mushi. Oh, sorry, not Mushi.
Mushi, what? wrong team, Dusty, wrong team.
Well, we got a lot of players from these teams, like, oh, top lane though. They do get XY. They drop the sentry. Luna going in.
Lucen Beam. Do they have enough? Raven, I don't think they get the kill. He has a salve. He'll be okay. Okay, I just have to point out. I'm not sure whether you say this OCD, but Jabs on that Ayo Akana, I keep seeing a little heart shape on the minimap. I'm just like,
No, I don't see that.
You see, look at the minimap, it's a little heart shape.
Oh, right, because you got the hero icons.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, you know, a bit of love being spread around, at least not to TNC, but to Faceless. Spreading the love. And we haven't seen Nuts really go around getting some lucky 17% bashes like we would like to see.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jabs gets an Arcane Rune.
I just like how in pretty much every qualifier, these two teams are always going to be facing off in either the finals or the semi-finals, and pretty much.
Oh no! 1437 gonna give away first blood to XY. So that's a much needed kill. He is struggling in terms of CS, but the kill will boost his net worth by quite a bit, especially since it is the first blood kill after all.
I do love this SP pick, and it suits Faceless perfectly. It's a hero that doesn't really require much, but puts a lot of presence in the early game by utilizing the charge. They have a lot of heroes that can follow up, or like for example, they are the Furin who can globally TP in every time the charge goes off. They have Relocate, and looks like middle lane, they bait out the Blink. They might potentially go in again. SB's behind them.
Tims.
And at the same time,
for the bar strike immediately into the Jabs. Jabs should be dying here. Do they have enough damage? Yes, they will. Now getting the lift back, but the charge coming, Angry Cow. Gonna get stunned up by the telekinesis drop. So Tango's
may be in trouble, stun.
Power strike one more time. Do they have enough damage to kill off Tims? Alright, Nuts goes down, but hey, the tower will get that last kill onto Tims. And not enough damage here to kill. Okay, Black. Fountain regen, very, very nice timing. So this game's still pretty even as TNC say, hey, we're not afraid. We're gonna match you head on. Because right now, Cuckoo really needs to catch up in CS. Lift up into the air, getting tossed.
The great thing is he hasn't actually died. He doesn't have the CS, but he's got just 2 kills just then. He's going to be getting his bottle very shortly here.
Oh, Sam H. Falling. Oh, he doesn't fall to the swarm. He's going to salve up. That was really close from XY as well. Interesting that now Ice will be facing off against the Luna. Like, they left XY there for quite a long time. Middle lane going into Cuckoo one more time.
Contesting those runes. Here we go.
Lift back. But hey, here comes Jabs. They want to go for more. Here comes Nuts as well. Do they have the telekinesis left? Nope. Nothing to save him. And of course, Black gets himself a very easy support kill. Well, of course, the ideal situation is that they got the Cuckoo kill. And now he's just going to shrine up.
Kuku's playing extremely well. Like, he is playing very safe, but he has to. He needs to worry about the combo setup and also the charge at the same time. But at the same time, if he does survive and gets more levels, that he does a lot of burst damage. And that's what will happen later on when the Sand King and Rubik rotates in again. He'll be able to burst down the Tiny and the Wisp together, potentially, if he does get the two of them together with the Sonic Wave.
Oh, I like this Tim's ward, which he did place early on. He knows that the stacks are there. If anything, he's going to leech some of that EXP, which is so important for him. Does he get level 4 from this? Yeah, I think he does. And
Yep,
this is actually
he'll
going to
be
slow
able to
down the
get
jabs at the same time.
He's going in.
And Tim is
Swap
like,
is
thank
there."
you! Down goes Black. First Sonic Wave used. Killing spree for Kuku. Great stuff coming out here from TNC. And top lane, he's going to TP in immediately. Maybe they want to try for Ice. The Lucent Beam flies out onto him. They have an Eclipse if they want to use it. 1-4-3-7. But here comes the charge. Ice. With the Lucent Beam, they get the kill. So Nuts a bit behind.
They do secure Luna another kill here. He does have Eclipse now. They might be looking to push a tower or bring him into a fight soonish.
Alright, so 3-4 in this tiny IO lane. Not exactly working out as they would like. Because right now you can see Jabs hasn't been able to stack as much as he would like. Going for the bounty win as the safer option. Going for that Urn of Shadows on the way up. But Ice, we haven't seen him really group up to take any towers just yet. He's actually going for what, a second bracer? Is this an ATOS? ATOS would be pretty good here, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, he could go for it, but it's... first item is a little weird. But yeah, it seems like it. I mean, what else could he get? He could just get the drums with one of the braces and use the other braces to tank up. But it makes a lot more sense to get a ATOS when their lineup kind of lacks a bit of initiation power aside from the SB.
Or he could be trolling us.
Yeah, that's
He
actually
knows-
very good.
He knows that casters can see the quick buy. He even bought the circlet.
So maybe not. Yeah, this I'm not too sure.
Double
Maybe.
Bursted Gaming? I'm not sure. And hold on, they actually almost bring down Kuku one more time. But like you said, there's no use. As long as they haven't killed him, it doesn't really matter at all, does it?
Yep, he does have the raindrops helping him out. He's got the bottle and the magic wand.
But
So
bottom lane
not very
here.
easy.
Nuts, they tried for a kill, and actually they will kill off XY. They will find Nuts as well to the tower. Popping the stick charges, he's going to be fine. Samage with the flight vision.
Charge goes off, he will be okay. But there's a rotation coming in from the Tiny.
Nice TP out. They will not be able to kill him.
Tiny
Over the
does not
middle
help
lane,
him
the
out.
first Eclipse being used to kill off Jabs. Black has to get out. Actually, no, he TP's back to his tail and tower. So TNC making the right rotations everywhere and outplaying Faceless throughout this laning.
Yep, and it seems like just the Tiny Wisp middle hasn't really achieved much. Yeah, they've been annoying, but they haven't really secured a kill on the Queen of Pain. But once he does get the Blink Dagger, it'll be a lot easier to set up. With especially they can utilize the Furin's ulti top lane.
Where do you run? We've seen this before, and we're seeing it again. Down goes Ice to Raven. And this Luna is actually climbing quite high in terms of the net worth. Just surpassed the Tiny, and that's including like Black at stacks. Luna did not. He's been very, very involved getting these kills. He's 3-0.
Yeah, he's just been having a really good time this game. He hasn't really left the lane aside from the first TP towards the top lane in the laning phase of the game. But he's constantly farming, jungling, getting kills set up for him. So very, very nice game for him.
Alright, Tim's Arcane Boots, Raindrop. He's gonna get himself into good timing for the Blink Dagger, I feel. And considering like without a Blink he's already had this much impact, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do when he gets that dagger.
Yeah, the dagger will be the key. They haven't really been able to kill the Queen of Pain because he actually has to walk up and get a combo, which is very difficult. He will just blink away. But with the Blink Dagger, there's two ways he can approach this now. He can go alone, smoke up, and
Hold on
gank
top lane,
again.
they get the lasso here into Ice. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. And now they're
XY
gonna try
wants
and
to
kill
turn it
Tim.
around.
He did use the epicenter already. XY?
Is there any detection? No
Oh,
detection.
1-4-3-7. He stole Shikuchi. He's gonna try going around and won't turn around onto Nuts, and they will actually get the kill.
Great turnaround.
Tim's. Well, 1-4-3-7 with the plays. Who needs Blink Dagger when you hear Shikuchi?
And now it looks like Tiny is looking for a play here. He does have a smoke, he does have the blink. He tried to go for the top lane, but Raven kind of respected it and left the lane and go to the jungle, Ancients area.
Black blinking in, trying to get the combo into Kuku, but Kuku one step ahead. And now the top tier one denied. That's some gold not going the way of TNC's economy, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because right now they're just going around doing whatever they want, and Faceless can't really punish TNC.
Yep, here we go, the smoke play. They really need a kill. They got the blink dagger. They haven't really achieved much from this dual lane and middle lane. And SB is also quite behind. He's level 4 at 12 minutes practically. He does want to get the tome, but he'll still only be about level 5, which is a big problem.
Might find
Charge
a bad
goes
rider
off.
who's all alone. He did go for the Drummond's build, of course. Now the charge coming into Sam H. Wrath of Nature's going to connect.
reactions, top lane.
Can they turn this around? 1-4-3-7, Shikuchiing forward again. But I'm pretty sure Faceless, they know what's going on. They pop the dust. They will have found the Rubik. Do they have to toss though?
Got Shikuchi again.
Oh,
Gets
Tim's with
away.
a double burrow. But Jabs tethering to keep him alive. Nuts in a bit of trouble here. Tim's, okay, the Sandstorm is going to bring him down. Actually, no, it's going to be the Flame Break. But now here comes the big Eclipse, finding one. And actually, no, he gets out just in the nick of time. And that's going to be Black somehow surviving. Meanwhile, bottom lane, XY trying to get that tier 1 tower. Who gets the deny first? XY will get the tower. Geminate attack. But that was sick. TNC, now it really feels like they're constantly a few steps ahead. They read that smoke so well, they reacted accordingly, and from that fight we get that's like a 1-for-1.
Yeah, and this is what I love about TNC. They're always so consistent in every game. Even if the games, they start from behind, they know how to play from behind. And
Oh, Nuts coming in. Can he get the kill here? With the combo, they might be able to look for the toss.
And he's
Oh,
gone.
great position. You saw Nuts. He backed up just in the nick of time, allowing for the toss. Otherwise, Cuckoo would have just blinked out. And so for the first time, he finally dies, giving a killing spree to Black.
And they will be getting some objectives now. 1 kill into a tower as well.
Very
Looks like
worth
they
it.
want to fight for this, but TNC do not want to give the tower away for free.
No detection. Oh, now they pop the dust. They know that they can see Tim's, but they won't go straight for 1-4-3-7 instead. Avalanche off the mark.
Jukes.
Nuts on the hunt, looking for 1-4-3-7. Popping the stick
And he goes
charges
down.
doesn't really matter. So anyways, they go back to the middle lane, but they've delayed because now that Cuckoo's back up, they actually still can fight.
Dragonlance almost up on Raven here. 1 component left, just 1 robe of Elven Skin. 1 band of Elven Skin, my bad.
Speedbreaker is going to charge to the bottom lane and get that level 6. He needs it so at least they can pretty much... I feel like it takes off the pressure away from Black so that he doesn't necessarily need to land the full combo all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, so... Alright, he's going to get level 6 because of the triple range creeps at the bottom lane. Jabs finally has level 6. You know, we will finally get to see potentially some relocates.
But we still need this level 6
XY
Spirit Breaker.
actually
He's
gets
middle.
out. Wow. That was so close. Shikuchi as he TP's out.
In the
Sam
middle
H.
lane, though, we might see something as well. There is a charge coming to the quad, but he respects it, goes into the jungle, gets the bounty rune. But they're still continuing. They might be able to get this SB if he spot him out.
No, they won't. That was just some good game sense, good passive play from Cuckoo at the right time. And meanwhile, top lane, you know, Ice. He does get himself a tower. Blade Mill is going to almost be completed. I like the Blade Mill. It's going to help so much against all these heroes. So, like, it's going to make you think twice about using that Sonic Wave or that Eclipse, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, right now they're happy with just farming. They know that the aggressive plays will have to happen from Faceless. They're avoiding a lot of the ganks. Luna's still farming away, and they kind of want a blink on the Batrider as well. He does have drums, and he's getting charged down the bottom lane. XY is kind of following him around just so he's near to the fight, but TNC is ready, and they spot him out.
I'm sure they know that the charge is happening bottom, right? Yeah, but he cancels the charge. They have the ward in the jungle, but it's nighttime. They shouldn't have been able to see the Spirit Breaker, but now they will. They're pinging him out. They said, okay, we dodged the bullet there. Or maybe not. But anyways, Io jungling a bit.
This is going to be a very different playstyle from Faceless that we've seen in the previous games. They're going to just split up, trying to force for pickoffs, utilizing the relocate and the charge to make that happen. And they also have the Furin, he can always TP in. And as you can see, Furin's item build is going for a Blade Mail. So if he TPs in and he gets caught, Blade Mail do a lot of damage. 2 braces, got a lot of effective HP to utilize the Blade Mail properly as well.
Alright, bottom lane, TNC. They want to try and make something happen here. Weaver is really close to completing that Lincoln Sphere, but not as close as he would like. He doesn't have any damage items yet, that's for sure. He's even bought his own dust just so he can try and catch 1-4-3-7. But Raven, he will get the bottom tier 1 tower nice and easy. Dragonlance already completed, making his way into a Manta Star.
And now TNC is starting to try and take control of the enemy jungle. They know there's something up. Weaver, Chikuchi's in, and so does 1-4-3-7.
Oh, Black,
But he
he's
gets
found
caught.
the Rubik. Down he goes. Beautiful stuff. Great reactions coming out from Black. Very unfortunate. 1-4-3-7, he had the right idea in mind. He just wanted to get info.
That's right. He just has to be a nuisance, get some info, scout them out so the cores know where they are and play
Better
a little
he
bit
dies
safer.
than the rest of the team, right?
Yep. In a sense, you can say it's a tactical feed. Regardless, it doesn't really affect him as much since he has been buying all the wards. His net worth is not very high.
Alright, so at the same time, what do we see between these two teams now? What's the next move, or is there a particular objective they should be fighting around, or is there like an item?
Well, the Batrider did complete the drums at a fairly decent time, but it will slow down his blink tag because not much has happened since then, and he's not really a priority in this team. They have Queen of Pain, they have Luna and a Sand King who all need items. Sand King needs his blink, Queen of Pain obviously and Luna have core items to be built. So he's not going to be a priority, he's going to be getting a very slow blink dagger, but essentially they need one of these heroes to get a blink so they can start fights and use the Luna's Eclipse to their advantage.
Ice actually is going for that Rod of Atos after the Blade Mail. You can see in its quick buy, we haven't talked about him for a while. This is very different to what we usually see. Like, in this game, Faceless has actually decided to give Ice more resources. Instead of like, you know, Nyx Assassin or Bat, where he gets one item, creates space just by going around, constantly doing Ice things. But in this case, no, he's split pushing, he's farming in his own world, like an MMORPG basically.
But yeah, I think they're happy as well to go for the later stages of the game. As you can see, Tiny's farming extremely fast. He's almost got a Aghanims built up here. He's 400 off. He's just going to kill some jungle camps and he'll have it. At that point, they'll be able to easily siege towers if they want to do so, or even try to sneak a rush with the Fury TPing in and summoning some Treants.
I'd be worried if I were Cuckoo, because yeah, he's going towards the Yield Scepter, but that Atos will prove to be an issue just because, you know, the time it takes to go up and down to dispel it, it can set up for the stun from the Tiny.
Yep, there's going to be a lot of factors this game, but I mean, in a team fight scenario, if they have their blink daggers, both the Sand King, which he just purchased now, and that's why they're doing that smoke rotation we spoke just before, then it's going to be a different story. Then we got Epicenter and Lasso to worry about.
Alright, so TNC with that 3-man smoke movement, will they find anyone?
Scanned out straight away.
Courier, why are they still moving the Courier in that direction? The bait, they're taking this so patient, they're letting it go. Oh, they're gonna get the Courier sniped anyways, so now the Radiant side, they know where these three heroes are, they will back off, and they just probably just TP straight back to the top.
That was a little awkward. They did scan him out. I'm not too sure why the Courier was still sent out. Poor Courier.
I think they wanted to confirm because they could have been coming from the shrine direction, like one loop around kind of thing. It is possible.
And they do seem like they want to fight. There are two heroes that are splitting up, but Tiny's in a position to react if the team TNC decides to try and TP back and help the other lanes, which just did happen. Sam H TP top, and they're looking to get a kill here on the Luna.
The Raven, the bash, Tim is
Epicenter
popping the
coming
Epicenter.
in.
Where is that? Oh no, the cancel! Nuts, very nicely done. He's going to tank the Epicenter damage, but it's okay. Sonic Wave landing on the 3, but oh, the Blade was popped in the nick of time by Ice. And now Ayo buys back. They want to try and kill Tim's here. XY scooching forward, trying to kill Cuckoo, maybe bring him very low. The German attack won't be enough. The Barrage Strike just in the nick of time. Can they kill him off? Look at the time lapse. Okay, he gets out. And Ayo buyback, he did relocate for this, and of course, Sam H getting Ice's size, but Jabs will at least get that kill. And he will bring Black back to the base. But 2-for-2 trade. That actually favored Faceless just a tiny bit. Actually, no, because of the buyback, there's a 3-for-2 trade, sorry. So TNC, alright, this is still pretty intense between both these two teams.
The gold chart showed that it was about even, the trade-off, mainly because it was the supports that died off, I believe, in the Faceless side, whereas Luna is their big hero, and he got killed straight off the bat.
Alright, so Black with this Aghanims. What's his next item? Assault Cuirass? Echo Saber?
Yeah, Echo Saber would probably be the standard item in most cases, getting the doubled hit, especially with Aghanims. You can just siege down very easily. Last fight as shown, Cuckoo just barely lived. One more hit from the Tiny, he would have died there. Unfortunately, he got away, but if he has an X7 next fight, potentially he can get out.
Oh, did you see that? He actually used the siege card so that he could guarantee the last hit. Oh no, alright, but...
See things, right there. Efficiency for creeps.
Farm, man, it's all about farming. You gotta get that farm, that's a lot of gold. And anyways, back to it, like... It's very hard to itemize this game, I feel, for Cuckoo, because you have so many things you have to worry about. The Rod of Atos, the Avalanche combo, and now, what other items do you have to worry about? Like constant relocates coming in, and XY, you can't kill, even with an Orchid, you can't really kill him off because of the Lincoln Sphere. So, what's your next item here for Cuckoo? Do you still go for the Orchid build? Do you want to go into that? Oh, he's actually going for Shiva's Guard next. Okay.
Yep, he's just going to build up a little bit more tanky. As you can see from the Faceless lineup, most of the damage, aside from the Tiny, is actual physical damage, so that will help out a lot for him to stay and sustain in the fight.
And I also want to point out one very nice thing. Ice. Look at the way he's been manipulating this tree and the way he controls them. And actually, hold on, I think they know that Tims is there. Looking to bash to pop it. Oh, that nice ATOS. He doesn't have a Yo Scepter. And down goes Tims. And this is that global relocate presence we were talking about.
Which will lead into a tower. However, TNC is ready at the bottom lane to also trade the towers here. XY positioning himself, but they do want to go for a fight.
Oh, they're actually relatively close. They know. And because Nature's Prophet has TP off cooldown, they're getting ready to fight bottom lane. What efficiency. Will they fortify for this? They don't have a fort. XY. Shikuchi hitting onto him. Oh, they break the Lincolns. They lift up into the lasso, but he has the time lapse if he needs to use it. Sonic Wave gets out. Not really, just kidding. Cuckoo getting the last hit. And of course, with the ATOS, can they kill Cuckoo here? They need to. Almost get the bash. Yusep's up into the air. Cuckoo actually gets out. Raven with the double. The glaives are bouncing around in black. Oh dear, he won't even get any combos off anymore. 4-for-1 trade. TNC, what a good fight. 1-for-3-7 with the Shikuchi. Oh, Black the sidestep for 1-for-3-7. Can he get the kill here? I think not. The counter toss on 1-for-3-7. Team wipe. And TNC could find a tier 3.
Beautiful Rubik. He plays so ballsy with his Rubik, always Chikuching and getting in a position where he can utilize his lift properly on the core heroes, or even baiting out a lot of spells so that their own core heroes don't get aims.
And he anticipated the bash as well, and once again, it's just a lack of lockdown for this Queen of Pain. It's not like a Sven, you don't have anything to really cut down this Queen of Pain, and once she blinks out, she's out. There's no way to catch her. And then, once you've thrown all your spells, you just look very, very silly if you're Faceless.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, so 19 to 9.
Setting up in the top lane here. He does have Epicenter, but he needs one more hero at least to go for the kill. And seems like Barrett is starting to going top lane. He's not. He does have the blink already. He's going for the 4-staff next.
But I think Tims knows because he just sandstorms up. Because so far what Ice has been doing, every time he gets the Nature's Call, he basically splits them up so far into the jungle so he can get more info. He wants to know where TNC are. But that hasn't really limited Raven's farm. Let's look at him. Oh,
huge.
I have to commend, man. Somehow Black has remained on par, or almost on par, with the Luna in terms of farm.
Yeah, the big problem in this game, though, is the supports. The Faceless supports are just so underfarmed. As you can see, the Sand King and the Rubik are both ahead of the supports from the TNC side. But, sorry, from the Faceless side, which is a big problem. They have Blink Epicenter to worry about, whereas the Wisp can only really provide healing and sustain for the cause. SB as well, very one-dimensional hero. He can only provide some stuns, which won't be enough because they lack a bit of damage. They need to kill Queen of Pain, they need to kill Luna, and they're both heroes big threats, and they have a lot of mobility. They have BKB on the Luna, and they also have the Yules on the Queen of Pain. So I'm not too sure how they're going to be able to burst down a hero, but I guess the answer will be this tiny Blink Dagger to try and pop one of the heroes followed up with the SB.
So now Raven and friends, they will start to chip away at this first Roshan of the game to claim that Aegis. They know they're so close to breaking high ground, and nothing that Faceless can do. They're not in any position to actually take this.
Now Aegis going to the Raven. It's just going to be ridiculously hard to win a team fight if Raven just sits in the front and sieges the towers down.
So this Luna pick, it was questionable to us, but now it's starting to make sense. Like, if anything, it almost feels like TNC intentionally let Faceless have the IO.
Well, there is like a lot of pros and cons to this Luna pick. From an observer's perspective, I guess it doesn't suit against Faceless hero lineup, but if they group up, then they get a lot of their benefits. So it's really going according to how TNC expected this Luna pick to go for.
Alright, so 8k gold advantage, looking very comfortable. BKB on the way for Black. It's in the courier. Is that a game-changing item for them? Is that what you see as a comeback item? The 10-second BKB?
It can help. There is a lot of magical spells coming out from the TNC side, but it's not an item that will provide a lot of damage.
Immediate cancel.
The BKB does help him stay in the fight and get some extra hits off, whereas normally he will just get kited a little bit from the Queen of Pain, from the Sand King, from the Rubik. but in the same sense, they still need to burst the hero down. Do they have enough damage to do so? XY has not completed their top
beam.
lane.
XY in a bit of trouble. 1437 getting charged, but
once
XY,
again.
they're still chasing him down. Going the wrong way though. Oh, they do get the charge on him, of course, with the swarm. Do they have enough to kill 1437? Rather than just catching on to him, but the Barrage Strike catching on, of course, Ice. Oh dear, Sonic Wave actually going to completely spiff. Jab somehow keeping Ice alive. He's going for the TP out. Optimistic TP. He will get out. Actually, no, just kidding. Tims with the Sandstorm will finish him off. So 2-for-1 trade. Flame Break cancels the charge. Nuts. You're in a bad place, Nuts. Black gonna try and salvage one kill. He can't even kill Sam H.
Now he's in big trouble. He does have BKB TP, so he'll be getting out safe.
But you don't want to be doing that. Oh, the
lasso comes out. Bye-bye.
4 down.
Raven
Black
coming in. The
gonna try and get 1 kill. But even then, there's nothing he can do. 4-for-1 trade, a great fight favoring TNC.
Raven hasn't even utilized the Aegis either, so they will be going high ground most like 40 seconds here. They do not have buyout on the Tiny as well, which is expected at this point. It's only 27 minutes in. You don't really expect to save buyout, but they got a fight outside of the base. Luna has Aegis, so it's the perfect time to go high ground.
Is it also safe to say that Ice, he's had a very lackluster game on this Nature's Prophet?
It just feels a little odd because maybe Faceless was expecting to do a lot better in the early game, maybe getting those charge setups to kill heroes into pushing towers, but they never got a kill on Cuckoo. They never allowed themselves to get caught by the Faceless
TP
combo.
in from Ice. He's found Tims in the jungle. Do they have the detection? The charge is still going onto Tims, but he has an Invis rune. Do they have dust? They need the dust. Yes, they do have dust. Another strike into the swarm. Bang, down goes Tims. A much needed kill for them. And XY will get some more gold. He's still trying to build towards his own BKB as well, and that's 2 defensive items on the Weaver first. He has no damage items.
Yeah, this is a big problem, and as you can see from the hero level charge, we got Tiny, Weaver on the same level as your off-lane Batrider and support Sanking. That is a very bad sign, and the supports are just falling behind so much. We don't see any items from either one. Wisp only has Bottle, and the SB only has Treads at this point, so they don't really provide much.
Oh no, they found the IO, forcing
catch.
him away from Black as he goes for another BKB TP out. This has to be a complete disaster if you're Faceless. He just uses 10 and 9 second BKB just to TP back to base safely, and even for the first time he did not survive.
Yep, it's just a bad turn of events for Black, even though he was quite ahead at one point of the game.
Solar Crest coming out with Ice. Oh no, he has to use Scepter to cancel Ice's TP. And of course 1437's on the way. Ice, does he get out in time? Yes, he does. Will not be there in time for Theban to get the telekinesis lift off. And now Raven, helicoptering, flying in, taunting in. Thinking about going on to Black. They have the Barrage Strike initiation from Tims. Io's almost out though, so they don't want to take the risk.
They do still have their Aegis for a little bit more, so they should either try to go high ground or they're going to wait for the next rush and complete items such as Skadi, which are not that far away as well from Raven. He's only about 2k away from it now.
Oh, this is very, very difficult right now. And Nuts as well on the Spirit Breaker. We haven't seen him get too many of those, those usually, the pub games, they get a crazy bash kind of thing. Or Spirit Breaker who has a lot of impact. We've never seen that. And from behind, Nuts, I don't know, it feels like the Spirit Breaker pick was also very questionable in the draft.
Yeah, the thing is, they have a game plan, and I'm sure they have tried this in scrims, and it's definitely been working out for them in the past. So, I mean, they wouldn't bring out this kind of strategy against TNC, the team they probably fear the most, the top contenders, unless they thought it would work out. But TNC just knows how to adapt to every situation. They, as shown from previous game against GeekFam, on the back foot or not, they just know how to make those split decisions in the mid to late game to really just decide the game. And right now, as you can see, they're just farming away. They're trying to secure the Scalia and the Luna, get the next Roshan, and just play it safe from now on, because they're not the ones that need to end the game. They have a lot of farm on their heroes. The XY doesn't even have a Dessa yet. It's 31 minutes and he only has Linkens, and looks like he's not even going for a Dessa. He's going for a Black King bar. He's just changed his mind. And what do you think about this? I
mean, this is what I mentioned earlier on. Like, I think a couple of minutes ago, I did ask, like, what do you think about XY going for the double defensive items? And Tim's getting caught out one more time. He's going to get forced out by 1437. Oh, Spirit Breaker, where are you going? In the wrong place. Of course, get the lasso onto Nature's Prophet. Not the ideal thing, but here comes the Epicenter. Is it going to be used yet? Not yet, but anyways, it's going to be more than enough. Raven with the Eclipse killing off Ice, and that's going to be 3 heroes down on the side of Faceless. Big stuff. Cuckoo, of course, venturing forward, looking for maybe a straggler, but in this case, won't find anybody. And he's going for his own Lincolns of his own as well, which means that it's very hard to charge Cuckoo. It's very hard to lock him down even more. I'm worried.
Nice blink by Black. Just managed to barely get his toss and get away at the same time there to clear the lane.
And he's going for the Assault Queras. I know that Tiny can be really scary when you're 6 slotted, maybe even 7. But I don't think he'll even get to that stage of the game. If anything, Black and XY, they have not been able to achieve much.
Yeah, his farm has not accelerated. He was very farm. He had the blink axe at a relatively fast timing. But after that, he was forced to get a BKB because he couldn't stand in the team fight against TNC's lineup. And from there on, they didn't really make anything happen. They haven't really won a team fight with it. So naturally, his farm progression will be decreased.
And especially as a Weaver, you want to be getting these kills. Same can be said for Tiny. It was pretty much about snowballing. We haven't seen any of those global relocates. Look at the vision placed out by TNC. Their ward vision is absolutely disgusting because they have a ward right in front of the enemy base. And they have one right in the lane. So they will always know whenever Faceless leave the base. Except for Ice, of course.
Yep. And looks like Solar Crest build up. He's just going for a utility-based item build. He's going Maelstrom, so finally some damage, but will Maelstrom be enough? I believe Furin is a really good late game hero. You have the
Jab trying to tether out. He's going for the relocate save. So he will get back to base, but if anything, looks like Jabs should be dying here.
Love that animation there.
Portal.
Yeah, it's sick.
Oof, and there we go. He's going to get a few spirits into Raven and Sam H's face with Wrath of Nature, but hey. And meanwhile, Nuts, they will kill off Cuckoo on another side of the map. Very nicely done. That's a big kill. Mega kill streak going to Nuts.
And that will buy a lot of time. They'll be able to push out the lanes. Not too scared about the Queen of Pain now. So that's a great trade.
Just from killing Cuckoo alone, that was a 1400 gold swing.
Damn. So as you can see now, the SB is starting to push out the lanes. He's not really scared about the Queen of Pain just coming to his lane and being a nuisance. And the bottom lane as well.
XY is actually going for the Diffusal Blade, not a Deso. We start to see Diffusal Blades picked up more in Weaver compared to Deso or Maelstrom. Why is that?
I guess it's mainly because you can still kite a Weaver. He doesn't really have any lockdown and whatnot. And did anyone get a Ghost Scepter? I don't think so, right?
No one.
Well, there's only a Glimmer that he can get rid of. That's about it. I think in this scenario, the Diffusal might not be the ideal pickup, but I mean, definitely they've talked about it. I'm sure they've decided why the Diffusal is the better choice this game. But as you can see, Tim's invisible, checking out Nuts. The Wrath does show.
The Burst Strike connecting into Nuts, but he should be able to charge away the lift back. Where does he charge to? Where does he charge to? They have a lasso if necessary. Flame Break's already been used. Oh no, the Force Staff to cancel.
Beautiful play.
Who did that even? Oh, that came from 1437.
Yep.
What
Excellent.
a player.
He has
what
been
a player.
so amazing on this Rubik. And he always has Chikuchi. I've noticed like every fight, he's just Chikuching in and just lifting people. It's a great play.
Who needs a Blink Dagger when you have Shikuchi and Force Staff, and now you even have Charge?
And they're going for the Roshan now. So after this will be the pretty much when they will decide to go high ground. They've got the cheese as well this time, so potentially the Queen of Pain will be taking that. And he can go more aggressively in the team fight.
Alright, so Faceless, they obviously don't want to contest this even if they know if it's going on. And Black, they just want to take a tier 2, just rat. This is pretty much, you know, down. It reminds you of those align tactics where basically you just use the relocate to start ratting now. That's what you need to do, and you of course
desperation right now.
Yeah, Tiny IO, and we have Ice Size on the Nature's Prophet. It only makes sense, but she's going to Mayonia for the extra creep clear.
Yep, they definitely have the heroes to rat. They have Weaver, Fury, Tiny relocate, so they can make it happen. And I think it's the only way to play against this right now. They cannot take a head-on fight, and Raven decides to just go down the middle lane, and they will be doing some sort of pushing here. Straight away, XY is starting to push the top lane out to try and secure something out of it. Maybe potentially get a trade-off, a tier 2 for a tier 3, and then come back afterwards. Sam H though looking around for any enemy wars with his gem and any heroes as well. I mean, at this point, one pick-off can just really decide a Rax.
I agree, and they may
They
have
spot
just
him
found
out.
those, not just one, but two pickoffs. And actually, it will be. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold that back.
Yep, it'll be two pick-offs.
It'll be two pickoffs. They get Jabs as well. Jabs at this point, he's accepted his fate. But I's bottom lane will kill off Tim's. He's like, you want to epicenter me? I have a blade mail. And Raven, yep, they will kill Jabs off at the top lane. No surprise, broken heart. Why? It's so sad. But look at
They do have
XY.
the butterfly though now on
Top lane
the
is actually being
Raven
shoved in.
Luna.
Ooh. This is pretty scary. So right now, TNC, they just want to push in the middle lane. But top and bottom is just constantly being rat. And now Ice thinking about TPing in as well.
Unfortunately, the Wisp is down, so they cannot relocate it, even though he did relocate to try and save one of the other heroes out.
Oh no, there's a gem on Sam H. Weaver, where do you run?
Do they have the damage though? He does have
Time
time
lapse out.
lapse.
Oh, but the BKB TP out.
And, he'll
And
be
without the
fine.
lasso, there's nothing they can do. Rinse and repeat. They actually get quite a significant amount of damage onto the tier 3 tower. There's 700 damage done.
Yep, great play. I mean, it's the only way right now. They cannot fight head on, and they respect Raven because he does have Aegis on top of that. So Furin, relocate, Weaver, the way to go. Rat Dota, Alliance Dota.
So if anything, Alliance is back, Kappa. But okay, Ice is popping the blade mail one more time. Cuckoo, I'm pretty sure you don't want to hit him. But Tim's comes in to spoil the party. It's going to be 2v1. Well, better safe than never. And Ice going to try and fight here. He actually brings them both quite low.
But there's a regen rune at top lane and shrine, so he's going to pick it up and go straight towards the middle
Raven,
lane.
they want to go for black. The Eye of Scotty walking onto him. But
And
XY
here we
without a
go.
BKB.
The middle lane push coming from TNC. Will Faceless be able to handle this though? Furin is also dead. He does not have a buyout. The lanes are not pushed far enough for them to be actually able to trade or split. So they will have to force a defense or just give it up for free. And looks like they will give it up for free because as you can see, Faceless is pushing top lane now.
And just like that with the Luna, they push so easily. Look at the Glaives bouncing around. That's going to be one objective. They could even make it two, potentially even three. You know, breaking XY's Lincolns. And Raven's going to get himself another easy tier 3 and another melee barracks. They're going to try and rat the top lane. Yep, they do get it. Black bashing away into the melee barracks. He needs to pop his BKB for this, I feel. He's going to get one. But over in the bottom lane, Raven still hasn't taken the melee barracks yet. They take off nuts and jabs. And they will get themselves a second lane of barracks. But somehow, I still feel like this game is nowhere close to being over.
Yep, they will just force it and go towards the top lane. No one has died yet. They have forced 2 TPs back, Cuckoo and Sam H. But once they regather, they will be able to just siege down top lane. And there will be no way of Faceless to be able to respond to this.
Alright, so if Ice is back up, he traps Raven. 4 staffed out from 1-for-3-7. And on the bar strike, they do get Black. He doesn't have a BKB this time. Io buys back. Can he save Black? I don't think so. Black will be forced to buy out. Raven caught inside the trees. XY. But this is Raven with Aegis. Are you sure? Sonic Wave flying forward.
Just
Cuckoo
barely gets
kills off Ice. He's down again one more time. The lasso 4 into XY. Can he come out? Black trying to finish off 1-for-3-7. Yes, he succeeds, but he's all alone.
There's no buyouts.
Sam H, he doesn't even care. 3 heroes with no buyback. Raven kills off Black. Full team wipe. GG call from Faceless as TNC wins this 40-14 in 40 minutes very convincingly.
Such great display. I mean, you got Faceless lineup very aggressive early game, but they just couldn't find any catch. They couldn't utilize charge to secure any kills. If they don't secure any kills, the Furin can't TP in and secure towers, so their game plan just didn't work out. Just very solid display of avoiding ganks in general.
And you know, even the panel questioned the Raven Luna pick, but hey, he's 12-1-14. He contributed so much. You saw that you basically win one team fight, top, bang. 2 lanes of barracks. Game is won just like that. And Cuckoo had a great game as well, considering he went up against Black and Jabs. There was a lot of faith in TNT to just let him solo that lane.
Yeah, indeed, great play. I mean, Raven, their whole strategy revolved on grouping up and negating the splits from Faceless's lineup. So SB, relocate, not so useful anymore, and Luna just sieged in, get some towers, and just got a big advantage from there on.
Indeed. So that was our last game of the day on the casters table here. We'll be heading back to the panel, and we'll see what they have to say.
Thank you so much, Hades and Godot. Denali, Pinda, once again, my prediction was right.
That was actually a very disappointing game.
Why was it disappointing?
It was.
It didn't seem
It
like
wasn't. It just wasn't the same caliber as Fnatic and Mineski. I was actually expecting it to be one of those games where it would be like a seesaw and it'll teeter on both sides, but.
And that's what we expect from professional teams like this, right? We want to see both of them compete at the same level.
It's like these two teams they've been, like you said, they've been there, and then we expected more, I guess, more fights, more something different than what the other teams did, because these two teams have been fighting each other since the beginning of this year, like since the tournament, since they popped up. And honestly, I think the Fnatic versus Mineski game was more hyped up and more interesting to watch.
I agree to that. Now, if we can, we're going to take a look at the highlights. And as we do, we can talk a little bit more about what happened between Faceless and TNC.
Yeah, there were a lot of issues this game, and Godot highlighted a lot of them. So Faceless's draft revolved around them getting pickoffs. They had global presence. They wanted to find those kills. Obviously, you set up with the Baratham with the charge, then you have the follow-up with the Tiny Wisp relocate. But it just felt like time and time again, they couldn't get those kills that they were looking for. It was just those kill secures, they weren't secured at all. And then when it came to itemization, it ended up being Faceless having to play very defensive.
They played really defensive. Like Weaver, he couldn't even pop like Bad Rider down, which in the other scenarios it would have been easy if he had like an easy Desolator, but he had like defensive items such as Lincoln Spear, and he had BKB early stage, and he was going for Diffusal later on. But by the time it's like damage is done.
That's the thing. Like when you're going for 2 defensive items on a Weaver and you're not running a minus armor lineup, the hero, it doesn't really achieve too much. You'd expect a little bit more. Even maybe a medallion would have helped out in that situation, just to give him that little bit of extra minus armor. And then the Tiny, it was too much for Tiny to do by himself. And
for Ice too, he was trying his best to rat it, and then he had the BM too, just to counter the attacks from the enemy team, like QOP and all, but he was just getting ganked so much that he couldn't do it alone because he didn't have the follow-up from his team.
Right.
So
even later in the game, was there anything that could have been done by Faceless to turn anything around?
They're pretty much.
You got to say, you got to give props to TNC. They played well. They absolutely deserved that win, just because they knew where to avoid these hits from Faceless.
Luna was babysitted really well. Like, you know what, QP was doing so much distractions here, and then Luna was getting farmed pretty well. She was even farming, and the Radiant side, she was doing all the farm, and it's like starving Faceless of their farm and pushing them to build towards more defensive items rather than damage items. And to be honest, if you don't have the damage items, how are you going to push? Even if you can defend, like after defending, then what's next? How are you going to push when your farm is being formed up by TNC? So. And
like last game we had Mushi, which was like the star player of the game. Do we have any star players in this game, like the MVP?
I don't really think there's an MVP for TNC. I don't think there's an MVP. It just felt like the whole team, team came together and they knew how to work together. That was probably the biggest thing. They knew when to go for these hits. The supports were always in position. The carries always came in and hit the right target. So I think overall, it's just TNC as a team. You have to give props to them all together. It couldn't just be one person to accomplish all of that, because if one person was doing everything, I don't think they would have fended Faceless's aggression.
Right. Now that was our last game of the day, so we're going to be taking a look at the standings to see what happened at day 1, total of the scores. So we have TNC on top, and sad to say, Skate Master is on the bottom. So what do you guys think about the standings so far? I mean, we still have tomorrow, which is going to be again another best of 1 round robin, and I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what
Anything
to
can
expect.
change. This is just the first day. You can't really be sure. Like tomorrow, there might be change of tides, and you might even say skate masters, sorry.
Skate masters.
Skate masters on top 5 or something.
I don't think, is it possible for, technically it's not possible for
Yeah,
top
I'm just
5.
trying to be positive about it.
Okay, I want to ask you guys
Okay.
one question. One team that actually you didn't expect to go up and did, and one team that you expected to perform but didn't.
Mineski.
Didn't perform.
Yeah, I was really expecting Mineski to perform this. I mean, they did win against Fnatic. That was, I think
That was a
the
good
best.
win.
That was one of the best matches we have had today, to be honest.
Right.
And I think TNC might just be on top tomorrow as well. I mean, they took Faceless. They took all the most challenged teams.
I
so
think,
far.
so TNC have Fnatic tomorrow, if I'm not wrong. I think
Yeah,
I read the schedule.
they're against Fnatic tomorrow.
And then there was another game tomorrow that I was really looking forward to.
Faceless against Fnatic. I think
It
so.
might be.
Yeah, it's Faceless against
could
Fnatic
be.
and Fnatic against TNC.
It could be.
All right. Okay. Any other thoughts that you had on day one? I want to get your overall opinion. I know we talked about how strong TNC is.
Yeah,
but
I think they're gonna. For me, looking at how they've played today, I think they're gonna maintain that status on top, and they're gonna push through. I think they'll be the team that's gonna go through tomorrow as well.
Okay.
I
All right.
want to say I'm proud of the state of SEA Dota, because I remember when SEA Dota was at a point where it was very top heavy and that you would only get normally one team that was worthy of going to TI. Now we have teams that are
Several,
of
yeah.
equal skill, if not high skill level,
very
and I
high,
actually think they can give us a good run for their money
Or
at
their
TI.
spot in the.
So, you know, for someone that's been supporting C since the very beginning, I've never jumped on the EU bandwagon, I've never jumped on the NA bandwagon. I always knew at some point SEA would eventually catch up. I think this might be, I don't think we're going to win TI, but if we can get a team to score top 4, I'll be proud enough.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Janali, once again. Thank you, Pinda, as well. That was it all for us today for the TI7 Dota 2 C qualifiers. Once again, make sure you tune in tomorrow because we're going to have Clutch Gamers going up against Mineski for our first match. And as we say goodbye, make sure you stay tuned because we're going to be showing you guys our highlights of the day. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.